The mission today is to sharpen your swords and get you ready for battle. It's time to fine-tune your craft and make you the best in what you do. The mission is to equip you to help anyone purchase what they need. We'll share the best advice from the best in their industry. You'll be listening to a conversation you wish you had with the mentors you wish you had. Take what makes sense to you and makes you better in your career. You guys, Bruce Lee said it best. Absorb what is useful and discard what is not.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining me on the Commission Mission. My name is Micah Henderson, and our guest today is a great friend of mine and a great realtor serving the panhandle of Florida like a superhero. Wherever he is called, he'll be there to take care of you. Randy Baxter with Keller Williams. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing great, Micah. Thank you. Thanks for the intro. You're right about the intro. You said if it didn't hype you up.
Damn, yeah. I like that bass line.
Right, right.
It grabs your soul. So, Randy, you're good at what you do, and I always feel like people who are good at what they do are good no matter where they are in life. If you're a successful person, if you're a driven person, you're going to be good wherever you are. Something that I think is cool about you is not too long ago, you were in Kentucky running a successful manufacturing business. Mm-hmm. And now you are in Florida running a successful real estate business.
Right.
How many years that separate those two lives?
I've been here now, I'll be going on 6 years.
6 years, okay. So why the change? What was going on in your head that led you from there to here?
Well, it wasn't what was going on in my head. It was more a circumstance of what was give to me.
Okay.
So I had a substantial amount of loans with J.P. Morgan Chase, and they had a board of directors meeting in Arizona. My file was reviewed, and they decided to call my notes due.
Oh, dang.
When I tried to get refinanced, it was during a bad time in the banking industry. The banks didn't want to take on that amount of debt, and so I was basically forced to close my doors.
Well, I guess everything happens for a reason.
It does.
And
I wish I'd done real estate 30 years ago.
I feel the same way about financial planning. I wish I would have. Those events had to have happened to lead you to where you are.
Exactly.
So you can't say that I wish I didn't go to college, that I really don't use the degrees.
What was yesterday? What was the quote that you said this morning referencing that, by the way?
What, in regards to failure?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Zig Ziglar little book of quotes that a good friend of ours gave us, Matt gave us, but that failure is an event, not a person. Yesterday stopped last night.
There you go.
So you can't carry that with you. If you're smart, you're going to learn something, and you're going to keep on moving forward. And that's what successful people do.
There you go. So I had my real estate mentor, the person I'd bought and sold every piece of real estate I transacted up until I closed my business. He had told me through the years that, hey, if you ever decide not to be in manufacturing, you want to get out of that and do something different, you should think about being a realtor.
Yeah.
And I remember making that phone call and saying, hey, it's that time that I might really consider doing something like that. And we had a conversation, and about 6 months later, I was a licensed agent. So
what do you think he saw in you all those years that he put that little bug in your ear?
Talking, being a people person.
Yeah,
exactly right. Just, being able to sit and have a conversation with somebody about whatever that conversation is.
Yeah.
And that's being a real estate agent, really. No different than in your job, what you do every day.
Well, and my wife used to like that about me, how I can have a conversation with anybody, and then I guess as time marched on, we could be out to eat, and I'm going to make a friend at the table next to us, and now I get an eye roll. What? I thought that was cute. But so you dealt with that adversity, and you figured it out. What was a better path for you that can give you the quality of life that I know that you enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, a lot of our viewers, our listeners are going to make career jumps and transition from something that they thought that they would always be doing, and then circumstances, and then they say, hey, the world of sales, and whether you're selling real estate, whether you're selling insurance policies or yachts, that life happens, and you have to bob and weave. So you went in just 6 years. I know that you have been a top producer over there at Keller Williams.
Yeah.
That when you got the ball rolling, how did you do it without having that natural market or warm market that I've heard, that those family and friends that a lot of people who are born and raised in a certain area have to get the ball rolling? You didn't have that.
I stood in front of people every day and talked to people. Talk to people.
Yeah.
I worked for Harley Davidson here for just shy of a year before I got my license. My boss wound up being my largest real estate investor.
Connections.
So, but again, that was standing and talking to somebody every day about different things prior to having that license, real estate license, but knowing when I got the license, that this guy's buying, selling, investing in real estate.
Sort of planting seeds.
And knew that I was going to be doing his real estate business before I even got my license.
Nice.
So that was something I set myself up for. But then just, again, I didn't burn any bridges at Harley Davidson, so I was able to work the motorcycle rallies. Twice a year that I was able to stand and talk to people. Hey, you want to buy a motorcycle? Great, yada, yada, yada.
Oh, by the way,
I'm a real estate agent. Or, we're down here looking to buy a condo. I'm a real estate agent.
That's good. That's good.
I'm brothers, sisters, uncles, cousin, aunt, whatever's looking to get a condo, has a condo, wants a second house.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm a real estate agent.
I hadn't even thought about events. Like, that's a good angle to.
Events can be big for anybody. Just walk around.
Just talk to people.
Just talk to people.
That's so simple, but that's really what it is. That I think a lot of people would rather meet their salesperson, whatever that is, and either from a referral or in person.
Absolutely.
And what's the alternative? Getting online and Googling some sort of sales professional, looking at reviews. Can you trust reviews? Were those reviews really by their family and friends that had not used their services? They're just trying to make them look better.
Right.
Let's be honest. That can completely be a possibility. Or you find somebody in person that you really click with, or a friend that you obviously vibe with, or they wouldn't be your friend. Recommend somebody that say, hey, if this is who I used and I enjoyed him, if I enjoyed him, you're going to enjoy him too.
Exactly right.
So going from getting started, just being out in the community, talking to people, how many people do you think you talk to lead to one final sale?
100.
100.
It's 100 to 1.
Right.
Pretty well down to a team me.
At the start of that funnel, I know everybody's heard of the funnel. Mm-hmm. At first you're just talking to, a lot of people, and then a smaller percentage move to the next step, a smaller percentage move to the next step, and finally at the bottom, squirts out the end then product, the sale.
Yep. Mm-hmm. But you're familiar with the process you went through to get your home with that lender and the community development program.
Yep.
Well, there's now 5 in that funnel for me.
That's good.
So you just keep filling that.
Just keep filling that funnel.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid of the hard work. Start talking to those 100 people.
Exactly.
You ever hear every no you hear, you're getting closer to a yes.
And we have something we go through Keller Williams called BOLD, which is Business Objectives of Life by Design. And one of the things you can do, they have you do in that is a, so many week course. Mm-hmm. Each week, you're to make 100 contacts every week. Mm-hmm. But you can also do a BOLD 100, and that's doing 100 contacts in one day.
There you go.
Talk to people.
Don't put that phone down.
And that's the big thing with Keller Williams, especially with a new agent, is they're really big. Get in front of people, talk to people, pick up the phone book.
Yeah. And that gets that ball rolling.
Pick the phone book up, do yellow pages.
Right.
If you're a new agent, new realtor, new in car sales, new in financial management, new in insurance sales, new whatever, you need contacts and you need referrals.
Yep.
Get in front of people every step. We're not going to do that sitting behind a computer, more than likely.
No, and I've said it before on the subject of advertising and marketing, that you can have the best product or service in the world, but if you're sitting in a room by yourself without a phone, without a window, without anything, you don't have a business. No. Nobody knows you're there, right?
That's right.
So as you get those contacts, do you use like a CRM?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
I need to use one. I still have like 3 notebooks of varying size and an Excel spreadsheet. So I need to get with it.
I'm a little bit better than that. When you ask me, do I have a CRM? Yes, I am provided. My office gives us a management system, but I have to have name and phone number and an email address just to create the documents that I need and offer any of the addendum that go along with it. It requires me, and so when I put that into my system, that CRM is also our DocuSign.
DocuSign, yeah.
Okay, so it's kind of integrated together. Do I have ad campaigns working through that? No.
Yeah,
no.
But you could.
I could, and so all that, the marketing, the secretarial side of it, I don't use it. I'm at fault at that.
Hey, 2022 is right around the corner.
Well, you can teach an old dog new tricks, right?
That's what I'm saying. Maybe. That you can have some resolutions to step that up. So getting all of those contacts and it's been some years, but I used to go door to door in the beginning, knocking on doors, and that's tough, especially in a neighborhood for say life insurance, or I used to just pick a good road full of businesses and walk down that street when it came to employee benefits, knocking on doors, making friends, being likable, make them love you, and comfortable speaking with you. Hey, let me just get you a quote. And that's filling those funnels and getting the ball rolling one way or another. So was there a time when you were first getting those the system going for you that you felt discouraged, or we were just talking about failure being an event, not a person, right? And getting over it. Is there any moment of doubt or a failure that hit you hard, and
which time?
How'd you get over it? Yeah, exactly.
Which time?
Exactly.
You mentioned earlier, people, it's a scary thing for people to start a business or to get into sales. And I tell people all the time,
and I commend every single one of you, because I know what it takes to jump into the unknown, live in that commission life where, the sky's the limit, sure. But when you're getting started, you're living off of bare minimum stuff, just keeping the hope alive that you're going to get that next sale, and it's just going to exponentially grow, and it will if you stick to the fundamentals and you keep grinding.
There's 3 entrepreneurs in this room, and I can ask the other 2 other than me, have you had them? Are you just riding consistent high right now? Or how many months do you go with like 0 and you're wishing it had
December
back up?
Is a tough month.
So
but that ain't gonna stop me.
I called a guy that's another agent that I've known for 35. He's been a realtor for 35 years up in Kentucky.
Yeah,
and I was talking to him recently, and I said, "What did you do in your early years to find some consistency?" And he just laughed really hard. And after he calmed down, he said, "I thought you was a real estate agent." So
consistency.
It's there for all of us.
You got to take the good with the bad, but if you work hard and do right by people, there's going to be a lot more good than bad. So how did you get through those first tough months? Highland Finance, helping you prepare for life. IRS takes your money, stock market risks your money, and inflation reduces the buying power. At Highland Finance, we believe you should feel confident in your future. Our proven track record helps our clients prepare for life. Call 850-359-5989.
Again, I was fortunate enough that I had my first sale. I had my first listing in 30 days after I got my license, and that listing closed roughly about 65 days after I had my license.
Okay, and for industry, that's good.
Well, I capped my rookie year, and very few people do that.
Yeah.
So
I remember hearing that. I remember you telling me, you hitting all these sales thresholds.
Yeah. I was a rookie capper there. So And literally, I just, kicked the can. I just kept, I was constantly in front of somebody talking, having a conversation, looking, hey, I'm a real estate, I'm got my real estate license now. People I knew that bought motorcycles off of me over there. Hey, I'm a real estate agent now.
And that was another one that you had to supplement your income before you really started moving. I worked in restaurants all through college, and so when I first left college, I only wanted to work in the stock market, man. I looked down at the stock exchange, and I just wanted to make money, and it just looked exciting. But my favorite professor told me, hey, you don't start off getting a job like that. You work your way up in a company that does that, and they. So I found a company, and they just wanted me to work in life insurance, and that's fine. I'm not scared of working hard. I'll pay my dues. And but I continued working in restaurants because now what? Now I have a stack of papers that's an application, and I'm just supposed to start talking to somebody. And I don't know about you guys that like my family and friends, they're not going to buy you something just because you're them.
Because you can sell it to them now.
You're doing insurance now. That's great. But if you stick with it, at least in my situation, 2-3 years later, hey, you still do? Yeah, I'm still doing that. Mm-hmm. How can I help you now? So working in a restaurant, is not. It was not bad. I got to set my schedule, and so I can set appointments for the next week and set my restaurant schedules around that. I was just graduating, just had a kid, working 2 jobs, and making it happen because nobody was going to tell me that I wasn't.
There you go.
Absolute confidence.
You got to have that drive to know that, even if you get knocked down, you're going to get back up.
Because
there's no another option.
There's no other option. I did not make a plan B. And then shortly after getting started, I had my first death claim, right? So one of the first policies that I sold, 6 months later, the lady passed away. And she was actually the main income earner. She and her husband, and she had 2 kids. I believe it was like an 8-year-old boy and a 12-year-old girl. And she was a lawyer. Well, I recommended, because of the kids, to have a much larger policy for a set amount of term, and she didn't see the sense in that. She wanted a permanent policy that the coverage never goes down, the rate never goes up. Hey, that's fine. So she ended up just getting $100,000 policy, and talk about like the most like down and sad and destroyed guy, but the most thankful that I helped him, from getting the policy to filing the death claim to delivering that check, and that he had a buffer, and he didn't have to figure out how to join the workforce right away. He didn't have to leave the house because both, that income was needed to keep that house. He would have had to move back to, I think he said he was from like Oregon, where his family's from, for that support. And so not only did those kids lose their mother, they also lose their friends. They also lose the house. They lose everything and have to start over. And so he had like 2 years of a buffer to figure things out. And so he was so thankful for that. So I went from wanting to just make money to I wanted to help people. I want to help families. And that's what got me going.
That's something else too. I think if you're just out chasing a dollar, you're going to get results of X. If you're out to build relationships and help people, then I think your results are going to be multiplied.
Relationships, crucial. That because people, whether consciously or subconsciously, they're picking that up. Whether you're just trying to get them to sign on the line that is dotted, or are you trying to really help me out?
Yeah, exactly.
People are picking that up. So. Relationships are the way to go, and that's the way you're going to get referrals, and that's the way you're going to get repeat business.
There you go.
So, I mean, we can go off talking about referrals. We can go off talking about relationships and genuinely building those. And just to wrap up the previous subject about getting started and having a whether it's a side hustle or for me, restaurants were the main hustle and financial planning was the side hustle. And until eventually the time shifted where I wish I could have worked a shift a month just to get out of the house and do something different and grab a beer with the guys afterwards.
Yeah, right.
I don't have the time for it. But it doesn't make you a failure while you're having that income earning activity. Harley Davidson.
Exactly.
For you, it was just a step.
Exactly. You got to change what you're doing. Nobody's going to make that roadmap. Nobody usually ever gets the opportunity to have a roadmap laid out in front of them. But making a change can be scary. But
yeah,
living outside your comfort zone is going to make you successful too. So,
I was speaking with another friend of mine that was on the show, and something he said that I really liked was your income is directly related to how comfortable you are, right? So, if you are willing to get uncomfortable, you're going to learn new things. You're going to develop yourself, and you're going to make more money. Mm-hmm. And so I like that. So, are there any other? You mentioned you had a mentor that really helped you out. There was a friend of yours in real estate. Are there any other, sources of education, or was it a book, or was it a specific? Maybe it was a show. Maybe you watch those shows on TV that there's always like a realtor, then they're trying to break down a wall and add a backsplash, and then maybe it's that. Any other?
No reality TV for
me.
Yeah,
exactly. Any other sources that really?
Absolutely. After I got going, one of the best decisions I made was joining the group here with E10. And that's, of course, how I met you.
Yep.
Jason over there is Jason's part of that as well. We got a lot of great members in there, and then that led me into actually joining the Panama City Beach Chamber. Mm-hmm. And either or, whether it's an intimate group like the A-Team or a huge group like a chamber, get out and talk to people. Mm-hmm. There's people that you can connect with in your community that will help you become successful. Mm-hmm. Because if you build a relationship with that person, they're going to be their go-to guy for that. So when they're out there in the community and talking, and somebody says, "Hey, I need X," and
I got a guy.
I've got a guy.
Yeah.
And there you go. It's that. And people would rather do business with somebody that they know or that their friend knows over picking up the yellow pages, Googling something online.
Yeah. As far as the real estate agent education, I'm sure your organization gives you plenty of sources of.
That's one reason I joined Keller Williams. It was told to me when I was first getting my license that, for the first couple years, go where you feel like you're going to get the most education. Yeah. And that is why that was the decision why I joined Keller Williams, was because of the amount of education that they've got for their agents.
Good structure.
Right from the get-go.
Yeah.
One of the first things they do is put you through a course called Ignite. Mm-hmm. As a new agent, you need to get started. You need to get a fire under you.
Spark
this course is called Ignite, and it does just that. You got somebody holding your hand, and when you go in tomorrow, it's a daily class.
Yeah.
So when you walk in the classroom tomorrow, and the teacher sits there and he looks at you and says, "Did you make your 25 phone calls last night?"
Yeah, some accountability.
Some hard accountability, right? And that's what it takes. And no matter if you're going to go sell life insurance, if you're going to go out and find people to do video work for, you're either going to, somebody your wife, your checking account, something's going to have you held accountable.
Yeah.
And some accountability right from the get-go is very powerful.
I always said that, like, my checking account, or rather my bills, were going to give me more inspiration than a manager barking down my neck could ever.
There you go. There you go. Fall down 5, get back up 6. But come the end of the day, hey, rent money's due next month, the water
Right.
bill, electric bill, phone bill.
Yeah, your landlord or mortgage company, they don't care about that big white whale you're chasing or about all the
right.
medium-sized deals that got away.
Might happen.
Listen, maybe not. You if you have enough people to talk to and you keep that funnel full, you're going to find even if you have to do 20 smaller deals to equal that white whale that you're chasing, or a couple of those medium-sized fish that might be getting away from you. Do what you got to do.
Do what you got to do. Keep the funnel full.
Yeah. I tell my son that like often, do what you got to do. I'm like, or I'll say like, whatever it takes, something like that. He's like, Dad, I got to pick up all those toys in the backyard. Yeah, you got to, man, I'm going to be so, tired and thinking of creative ways to do it. Hey, you just got to do your job, whatever it takes, get it done.
That's right.
So
do your job.
Do your job. And you're not going to have the 9 to 5. A lot of our viewers don't want to work that 9 to 5, and they don't want to have to answer to somebody or request time off. And because of that, your job is talking to people. Your job is filling that funnel,
building relationships,
and building relationships.
Fill the funnel every single day. You got to be putting something in that funnel. If not, Mike, as 30, 60 days from now,
it'll dry up.
There you go.
And
there you go.
I think with your business as well as mine, a lot of times you get paid in a month, or you get paid in 2 months. Or
once again, that's a nice thing about working with Keller Williams. I actually get paid when the transaction closes.
There you go.
I'm not waiting on post-closing funds to come through. So,
well, but you still have to think in advance that if I need to start working on a deal now, because some deals take longer than others.
Absolutely.
Working with me,
and until it closes, it's not done.
Yeah.
Well, we can be the day before closing and it just evaporate.
Here's something I've been meaning to ask people, and it's like a weird superstition in the back of my head. Here's the example of my superstition in the back of my head. I feel like every time I start counting my commission before it hits my bank account, something weird happens. Like Murphy's Law should be Micah's Law. So I just do my job and keep doing whatever's necessary to move that ball down the field. And as soon as the money hits, I'll make sure it's right. But I don't start calculating stuff. I don't start getting ahead of myself.
That's right.
Putting the wagon in front of the horse, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. In that CRM we was talking about earlier, that's one of the things as I go through and the offer's been accepted and there's some documents I have to get out. That's the commission side of it is something I have to do.
Yeah.
So I look at it then.
Yeah.
And then I'll look at it the day that transaction will actually close to make sure those two figures match.
Exactly.
And that's the only 2 times I'm looking at it.
Because otherwise, if you're really focusing on that, like I've heard it called like having like commission breath, and that people can like tell that you're desperate, and that desperation stinks, and people don't like hanging around some stinky old desperation coming out your mouth. So don't even think about that. Just think about doing what's right by somebody and doing your job and progressing the transaction one step further. So while we're wrapping up today, I really appreciate you coming on.
Thanks for inviting
me. Coming from a completely different world and a completely different state to making the transition and making it work from working a side job that a lot of people have to do to pay your bills while your ideal job is really getting started is something almost everybody has to do, and that you should be just as proud of that as of what you're going through to get to where you want to be. We talked about relationships, and we talked about referrals. We talked about CRMs and a lot of what it takes to be successful in the commission world, the sales world, the real estate world, and I think that your approach and the way you think about these things is really going to hit and resonate with somebody watching today, and it's going to click with them, and they're going to stay in it a little bit more until that ball starts rolling and they're living the ideal life just the way you're enjoying it.
Don't give up.
Don't give up, guys.
Don't give up.
You can do it. Dig deep. Hey, everybody, thanks for tuning in to the Commission Mission. It is our mission to increase your commission. If you got any gold nuggets out of the episode today, make sure you don't miss any more. Click, like, subscribe, whatever that action is for the platform that you're watching this on. Make sure you don't miss any more good nuggets, and help us help you.
Yeah, one of the things that new or struggling entrepreneurs struggle with is asking for the sale, asking for what you need, and they're afraid to do, afraid of rejection. But I'll give you a sample of that exactly right now. Is if this helped you in any way, please share this with 3 friends of yours, 3 people that you think would benefit from what was discussed on these podcasts. And
friends in sales, anyone in your organization that can benefit from this needs to hear it. Thanks, everybody. Highland Finance, helping you prepare for life. The profit your business brings in should go to you, not accidents, injuries, and hurricanes. Do a policy review on your general liability and workers' comp today. Our proven track record helps our clients prepare for life. Call 850-359-5989. Highland Finance.